October 7, 2022. Thanks for joining us on the news on Canal the International. My name is Gladys Ambudiban. Stay tuned for our major stories. Inhabitants of the Nkolmekong neighborhood in Yaoundé can now heave a sigh of relief following the arrest of a gang of armed robbers that has been terrorizing the inhabitants. They were presented to the public today. And do Cameroonians actually know their rights when they are being confronted by security officers or arrested at their homes? And newsrooms sought to know from legal minds the attitude Cameroonians must portray when arrested by security officers. And iron ore communities in the Ocean Division South region of Cameroon have begun making demands in regards to the exploitation of their soil. At a meeting in Kribi with the mining company, the population expressed regrets that their potentials are usually exploited without any benefit for the community. They want more. You have that right ahead. Thanks for joining us. You're watching the 6:15 primetime newscast in the English language. We take you straight to the nation's capital, Yaoundé, where a gang that has been terrorizing inhabitants of the Nkolmekong neighborhood in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, has been uncovered. The men were presented to the press in the nation's capital today during the occasion or during the event or the presentation. The security forces called on the population to collaborate more with security officers in order to uncover more of such networks. The details with Hyson Shia.
Here they are, supposed armed robbers, nabbed by the elements of the police forces after a series of robbery operations in some neighborhoods of the capital city.
During the last 4 months, the population of Kolfulu, Tinga village and Gulmokong neighborhood were terrorized by armed robbers. And on the 5th of July of this year, they attacked Chichwa Tala and they took his money and even his phone.
At their disposal during the time of the arrest were 2 well-loaded pistols, dozens of telephones and SIM cards, a cell phone stolen from one of their numerous victims, facilitated the police tracking process, and they were apprehended from their hideouts and presenting them to the public this October 7 at the number 1 Central Police Station. It was an opportunity to urge inhabitants of different neighborhoods to collaborate with the forces of law and order to fish out such men of the underworld.
Nowadays, the population of Kolfulu Tinga village and Gulmokong neighborhood have a relative peace, and we want them to continue to collaborate. Even all the population of the other neighborhoods of the town.
The police continue the hunt for one of the gang members, still on the run.
It has been noted that very few Cameroonians know their rights when they are being confronted by security officers or being arrested at unholy hours in their residence. Our reporter Morindi sought to know from some legal minds the attitude Cameroonians should actually portray when they are being confronted with such situation. Her reports.
The recent invasion of the residence of a Cameroonian artist has raised eyebrows on the rising phenomenon of police officers arresting people without a warrant.
You can read from Section 30 of the Criminal Procedure Code. The person should be a police judicial officer who, in uniform, who identify himself and then present to you such a warrant and permit you, allow you to inform your counsel and family members and to tell you where exactly they are taking you to.
But they insist that there should be an invitation to come before the police officer. And per normal practice, it has to be done about twice or thrice. It's when you don't appear, take time, that the judicial police officer has the right to go to the state council or the judge in charge of the examining magistrate.
Now, The law has made it very clear that you cannot arrest somebody in his house before 6 a.m. in the morning and after 6 p.m. in the evening.
What should be the attitude of Cameroonians at the time of arrest?
First and foremost, I will not advise anybody to fight because the police officer, whoever, is in violation of the law.
To arrest you does not mean that it is very obvious that you committed an offense. They might be arresting you to bring you here to take your statement, cautionary statement, on a matter concerning you, which they think you were properly served and you did not come.
Meantime, on the streets, Cameroonians are completely ignorant of the law and their rights, but have expressed a need for all to read and understand the penal code.
And 24 hours gone, and a family in Banga, in the Mongo Division littoral region of Cameroon, is still in search of their 1-month-old baby who has been taken away by an unidentified lady. The mother to the baby is devastated. She was in a beauty salon to plait her hair when the unidentified lady joined them to equally make herself beautiful. She reportedly confused the owner of the beauty salon, the mother of the baby, and others who were in the salon before walking away with the baby. The family has informed security officers for investigations. A couple of years back, a similar incident was recorded in a hospital in the same town, that is Banga, in the Mongo Division. And in Kribi, in the south region of Cameroon, the population has begun making demands in regards to the exploitation of their soil. About 10 million tons of iron ore at 33% is expected to be exploited from the Ocean Division, while the Bonje and Lolabe community insist on knowing what they would benefit from the exploitation of their soil. The details in this report.
Le projet d'exploitation de la mine industrielle de fer par l'entreprise chinoise Sinosteel Cam était
Yeah, sorry for that mix-up there, but we shall be coming back to that story in the course of the news. And let's take another story while we come back to the Kribi story. The board chair of elections Cameroon has urged the media to collaborate with the electoral body to ensure a free and fair electoral process in Cameroon. In a forum of exchange with journalists this Friday, he underlined the need for the fourth part to work on facts to consolidate the process of democracy. It was also a moment to review some obstacles hindering the serene and objective participation of the media in electoral matters. Here is an excerpt of Elecam board chair Eno Abrams Eber on the focus of their consultations put together by Hyson Chia.
The 2023-2025 electoral cycle is on the horizon. We must be ready, therefore, to take up the challenges and stakes ahead of us. The aim of our encounter today is to truly engage with you, the media, key stakeholders, with a view to consolidate our achievements and gain more maturity in the organization of elections in our country. Together, we work towards achieving more effective and sustainable collaboration. It is also crucial to eradicate hate speech and fake news in order to ensure peaceful, inclusive, and universally accepted elections in our country. Bearing in mind that the free media is a cornerstone of democracy, information therefore must be balanced in view to foster transparency and credibility.
Women have been embraced or have been urged to embrace opportunities that can boost their resilience in nation building, especially that of supplying food to communities. The call was made, that was yesterday, by the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family, Marie-Therese Abena Ondua, while launching activities ahead of Real Women's Day on October 15. Details of the story with Hyson Chia from the nation's capital.
Women living in rural areas toil day and night to feed the growing populations in towns and cities and contribute immensely to the stabilization in the countryside. launching the nationwide activities this October 6th in Yaoundé, in prelude of the Rural Women's Day. The Minister of Women Empowerment and the Family reiterates the need to strengthen the resilience of the rural queens.
We continue to undermine the food supply chain and the availability of local products on the markets.
The day to be commemorated on October 15 in Cameroon under the theme, Let's Enhance Local Production with Women Living in Rural Areas for Our Food Security, is a wake-up call for the women to grab available opportunities and better their activities as they contribute in nation building.
I therefore urge you to take the opportunity to participate in the various capacity building sessions organized on the occasion of this edition.
These are the time when emphasis are laid on home production for possible transformation.
Local council authorities are meeting in Cameroon's economic city, Douala, to sharpen their skills on conflict resolution and promote living together. The capacity building workshop comes at a time when intercommunal conflict is growing by the day, while the local population is subjected to misery and poverty. The details with Morindi.
Local level clashes between groups or communities will justify their reciprocal hostility through their ethnic, religious or regional belonging are regularly reported and sometimes take on worrying proportions. Their roots are often land disputes, political or religious disturbance or unimportant events. This is typical of the Douala 4 municipality in the littoral, where today harbors a good number of internally displaced persons from the restive northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon.
There are many problems. There are many explanations. The first explanations can be poverty.
In this hall, administrative, religious, traditional, and other stakeholders are building capacity on how to preempt inter-community conflicts, seek solutions, and promote living together.
This can be built when local councils work to ameliorate the condition of life of the populations. Peace can be built when Christians, Muslims can interact with tolerance. Peace can be built when all the communities can interact with tolerance.
The overall objective is to call the attention of councils on priority projects geared towards upgrading living standards of the population.
And a book entitled I Am an Anglophone has been launched in Cameroon's economic city, Douala. The 57 poems embedded in a book portrays the very existentiality of humanity. The author, barrister Divine Afuba, attempts solutions to the ongoing crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Morindi was part of that event and put together this report.
His poetic works have finally entered history while launching his collection of 57 poems embedded in this book titled I Am an Anglophone. The author, barrister Divine Afuba, takes writers on a discovery of what existentiality represents to humanity.
The book celebrates a number of themes. There are love poems, about 22 of them. There are poems on politics and contemporary issues, both in Cameroon and outside Cameroon in Africa. There are poems on religion, and then there are poems on what I call contemporary issues, miscellaneous issues, where I celebrate love.
At the book launch in Douala, October 5, 2022, crowds of persons, amongst them lawyers, friends and others, keenly listen and ask questions linked to the book title, which the author explains.
I Am an Anglophone is a poem that is set against the background of the Anglophone crisis as we know it today. In a sense, tells the story about what has been happening in Anglophone Cameroon. It is a reaffirmation of my Anglophoneness.
His poetic work, he says, attempts solutions to the ongoing Anglophone crisis.
The message is that we should live together in peace and in harmony in one country. We should acknowledge the fact that there is indeed an Anglophone problem that has led to a crisis, but we should go beyond the crisis and see how we can find solutions.
The author and advocate and solicitor is inviting Cameroonians to savor the poems and have a change of mindset.
And we take you out of Cameroon's. Kenya's new president, William Ruto, has paid his first official visit to Ethiopia. President Ruto met with his Ethiopian counterpart, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, on Thursday to discuss bilateral cooperation and to deepen economic and strategic ties between the two countries on regional issues. The visit comes amid ongoing war between Ethiopia and the Tigray People Liberation Front. That note takes us to the end of today's edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. The French edition will be yours at 7:50 p.m. with Alain Ghislain Kanga. Up next is Debrief de l'actualité du sport. I will be yours again, same time on Monday, God's willing. But then stay tuned to programs on Canal International.